Hello, everybody. Happy Friday to everybody. It is time for Cub Chat Live. There's no better time of the week than Friday at around 2 p.m. Central Time. My name is Aaron. I am joined by the man himself, Cub Chat Mike, we call him. How are you doing, sir?
Aaron, I'm doing well. It's great to be with you.
Thank you for joining us today. And yet another good topic we have today, folks. I want to start us off real quick. One of my co-hosts that you might not have seen for a while, our good friend Gina. Congratulations to her. Gina has had a child. She's going to be gone for a few months or so. Congratulations to her. Shout out to her. So it's going to be up to me and Mike and our good friends Anthony and Lisa and Audrey to kind of hold down the fort until then. I think we can do it. We'll find out. Today's topic, very good, very pro. But I want to start by telling a quick story, Mike. Back in the day when I was a Cub master, I remember early on in my tenure getting a phone call from someone I didn't know. And he identified himself as a commissioner, a unit commissioner. And he said, "Hey, Aaron, I'm here to help." And I didn't even know we had a unit commissioner. What's a unit commissioner? I didn't know what that meant. We are here to fill you guys in on the role of a unit commissioner, what they can do to help your pack. As always, feel free to comment, ask questions as you want. But Mike, to start us off, what is a unit
Aaron,
commissioner?
thanks so much, and it's always wonderful to be back. And today's topic is how a commissioner can help your pack. And of course, a quick shout out to that St. Louis Area Council who has been advertising this Cub Chat Live today. Thank you, St. Louis, my home council. Thank you for the words of encouragement and the advertising. Aaron, I am currently the commissioner for the National Cub Scout Committee. And in the past, when we had regions, I was the Western Region Commissioner for a period of time. And I've been to a national jamboree and to a world jamboree when I was the commissioner. So I'm pretty solid on the commissioner side of this discussion. But I've also been a former Cub Master. When my two sons were of Cub Scout age, I was the Cub Scout Master for 8 years. And for the last 6 years, I've got two grandsons in the program, Pack 275 in Tempe, Arizona. And for the last 6 years, I have either been the den leader or an assistant den leader to both of those dens. So I feel as if I've straddled the fence, so to speak. I feel as if I can talk relatively knowledgeably on the commissioner and the benefit to the pack because of my background. Now, the first thing I want to say is that a Cub Scout pack isn't alone. It's not an island. It's part of a larger scouting organization. Now, in the past, a couple of confessions on my part. When I was a Cub Scout master, I just wanted to be left alone. I was 100% consumed with running the pack program. I was dealing with families. I was dealing with program. I was dealing with the scouts. I didn't have time to be interrupted by anything else. As a matter of fact, I'm a little embarrassed to admit, I didn't even attend roundtable as often as I should have. But I'm here to tell you, as a reformed Cub Scout master, that was a mistake. In hindsight, it was a mistake. And the reason is that there are layers of volunteers and professionals out there can be useful. There are lots of resources that a pack can take advantage of. They don't have to take advantage of every resource, but it's important that they at least be aware of all these resources. The pack is part of a district. A district has a commissioner, and there are going to be one or more unit commissioners in that district. And each pack, in my judgment, in the district should have an assigned unit commissioner, should be identified. And in my judgment, the pack should do what they can to bring that commissioner into the pack family. I mean, actually adopt the commissioner if you can. So my first point is this. The pack's commissioner should be the PAC's best resource for information. Now, again,
Excellent.
the,
Yep.
the,
I was just going to say real quick, Mike, we've got a few shout outs I want to get to folks real quick. Rob in the comments knows a thing or two about being a commissioner. He is one. He's posted some valuable information, mainly that they are all volunteers, even up to the national level. Like Mr. Rooney here, he's a volunteer. He does this because he loves it. None of us are getting paid. Great point, by the way, Mike. I can relate to what you said about being a Cubs master who just wanted to be left alone. You and me together, brother. I was the same way. I just thought I had the answers, didn't need any help. 100% agree it was a mistake. Our commissioner said, maybe let me come to a meeting and just hang out. And boy, that changed my life 100%. But anyway, continue. As you were saying, main thing I have to know about a commissioner, a valuable piece of information, valuable source of information.
What I want to point out is that Cub masters today, as they were when I was a Cub master, are totally consumed with running their pack. Now, hopefully, as they run their pack, there is someone in the pack assigned to attend roundtables. Hopefully, someone in the pack has checked the district calendar, the council calendar. Someone knows on the council calendar or the district calendar, are there campouts coming? What are the dates that you have to have nominations in for awards? When is the council BB gun range going to be open in the months to come? What about marketing materials that are available? Has someone in your pack been assigned to follow all of those things? Well, maybe yes, maybe no. But a commissioner is going to have attended those district meetings and is going to be an absolute fountain of information that the PAC committee should be aware of. Again, not that they have to do everything that's out there on the schedule, but they want to know what opportunities are available, what training opportunities. Today, as I think most folks know, a Cub Pack can't do camping outside unless someone is Balu trained. So the PAC can have that camping experience. What about the dates for summer day camp? What about the last dates to sign up for Cub residence camp? Unfortunately, when I was a Cub master, 90% of this type of information passed me by. And I will venture to say that many PACs don't have volunteers assigned to keep track of all this information. And this is where the unit commissioner comes in very handy. The unit commissioner will have attended the district and roundtable meetings. The unit commissioner will know what's on the district and the council calendar. When the unit commissioner attends the meeting, he will pass all of this useful information on to the PAC. The bottom line is the unit commissioner is a safety net of information. The commissioner will have access to the dozens of 30 to 45-minute Cub Chat live videos such as this one, where there are presentations on dozens of different topics that an individual Cub Pack might need. And that commissioner will have information with respect to the dozens or so, 10 or 15 roundtable presentations that are online from Anthony Berger, our National Cub Scout Director, on important subjects that may be useful at a particular time to a Cub Scout pack. And if the pack has a question about something, the unit commissioner is the best person to take that question back to the district or wherever and get the answer to that.
Excellent points, Mike. I probably could speak to maybe some Cub Masters. I'd be curious to know if you had this experience. By the way, Jesse in the comments says they love their district commissioner. Thank you, Jesse. I'm sure your district commissioner loves you right back. Shout out to Todd from Troop 601 in Farmingdale. He's an assistant scoutmaster. Thank you for watching, Todd. We let Scouts BSA leaders watch Cub Chat live too. We love it. Rob says, one of these days I'm going to get Aaron to put on a unit commissioner patch. Interesting, Rob. One thing that I felt when I was a Cub Master is I was sort of concerned about Big Brother looking over my shoulder, right? Someone from the council getting in the way, right? Bothering me. And I think you probably agree that's not the right attitude to have. A commissioner, they're not there to criticize you. They're not there to tell you to do things differently. They're there to help, right? Right, Mike?
Yes. So my first point was that the commissioner can be an absolute fountain of information about what's going on in the council and in the district, and that the PAC needs to have that information. So you use and you pull all of that information out of the commissioner who's willing to give it to you. My second point is that the unit commissioner can assist the PAC organizing and managing the PAC. So, for example, the PAC is not likely to forget to prepare a calendar for the coming year's events. Of course not. But the commissioner is going to suggest that the PAC expand that basic calendar, create a service calendar. So fold in the activities that are on the council calendar, fold in the activities that are on the district calendar. Also, fold in recruiting activities. When are we going to recruit, and how are we going to recruit in the fall and in the spring? And what about best practices of other PACs, other programs? The commissioner is going to be able to pass that information on. For example, our PAC, the last couple of years, has had Liberty Wildlife come and bring their injured birds, an owl, an eagle, a hawk, a falcon. These programs just captivate the Cub Scouts. The district and unit commissioner will know about all the marketing opportunities that are out there, things that the Cub Master just doesn't have the time and has never figured out how to do as well as they would like. Now, in terms of best practices, I have a quick story that is something that didn't work for me. I always thought that we have a little local newspaper that winds up in the driveway in our little community. It's very small, it's very localized. I actually read it. So earlier this year, I put an ad in the paper, and I always wanted to do this. Join Cub Scouts. This is the PAC. Call this number for information. It didn't work. I didn't get one call, but that was good information, good reconnaissance to pass on to others. So the point is that the unit commissioner will assist the PAC fold the district and council calendars into the PAC activities.
Yeah, as a Cub Master or a committee chair, or whatever it is at the unit level, you have a lot of options. There's a lot on your plate, and it's impossible to know about it all. It's impossible to cover it all. I've had unit commissioners tell me about things, events, opportunities that I never would have known about. In order to keep up with all that stuff yourself, you got to constantly check your district website, constantly check the council website. Who has time for that? The commissioner, a huge, valuable resource for that kind of thing. Shout out to Mark, who's watching. He says he's the Scouts BSA Roundtable Commissioner for the Eagle Bay District in the Erie Shores Council. Mark, we appreciate your service. Thank you very much. His observation is that Scout units in general are in the same shape no matter what level you're looking at. Appreciate that. Mark Lizette says unit commissioners are valuable resources for their units. They are friends, helpers, doctors, mentors. Sounds like maybe Lizette is a unit commissioner. Thank you, Lizette, for your service. We appreciate that very much. Unit commissioners, we said, great source of information. They help the PAC organize and manage itself well. They can also, Mike, assist the PAC, kind of assess how well you're doing and maybe what you can do better. Am I right about that?
Yes, and we're going to get to that in just a second. But in terms of the information that can be provided, it's been my experience, at least in our PAC, that the newest person who doesn't know better winds up being involved in the rechartering process. And it can be confusing. Who in the world is better than the unit commissioner to help that person who's assigned to do the rechartering, to walk them through it and help them do it? And another thing that the unit commissioner can do that is very important, and you mentioned it just a second ago, Aaron, and that is be a mentor. Many of our unit commissioners are older senior scouters, maybe they've had children through the program, but they've been around the track. And when they see a Cub Master struggling, or they see a committee chair that's having trouble with a particular family, they are going to be there to offer suggestions and give advice, and to hold the Cub Master's hand, and to help them through difficult situations. Being a mentor can be a very valuable thing to have when you are a Cub Master. Now, the third thing I want to talk about, Aaron, and you mentioned it there just a second ago, is that the unit commissioner can help the pack assess how well things are going. The commissioner can sit in the back of the room and observe. There are many different forms that pack commissioners can use. Some of them are really quite detailed. Now, what I've done is I've prepared a unit commissioner pack assessment form that's very basic. It only has just a couple of points on it. But number one, as you're sitting in the back of the room watching the Cub meeting unfold, question one: what's your overall assessment of the pack meeting? Was the meeting well organized? Did it start and end on time? How effective was the Cub Master in running the meeting? Were the Cubs engaged? And most importantly, were the Cubs having fun? Just a short little form that is going that I could obviously give to anyone. And if anyone would like this type of form, Aaron, I'd be glad to send it to you to be disseminated. But the point is, the commissioner sitting in the back of the room can give the Cub Master and the pack committee valuable feedback on what things they might be able to improve, and what did the parents like, and what did they not like. Unfortunately, we know the top reasons that Cub Scouts are leaving the program, and the number one reason is poor leaders. The number two reason is non-welcoming atmosphere. This is right down the commissioner's alley. This is where the commissioner can be incredibly useful, can critique and bring those leaders along so that they are creating a pack meeting that's fun for the Cubs. How is this pack stacking up against the other packs that are in the district? I think that's a incredibly valuable thing that the unit commissioner can do. Now,
I remember. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Baron. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I remember when I took over as Cub Master, we had a commissioner come in and did exactly what you said, kind of sat in the back of the room. And I was brand new. I'm not going to lie, I was almost a little bit nervous. I felt like maybe I kind of always imagined maybe an elementary school teacher would feel like when the principal comes in and sits in the class, you feel like your boss is watching. And after the meeting, the commissioner came up to me and I said, oh boy, here we go. Let me tell you, they were so helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, all the stuff that you would expect, of course, from a scouting volunteer. They've been there. They're just like us. They're not paid professionals, so they don't have unreasonable expectations. Had a few great pointers, really, really valuable advice. So really do appreciate that. And I encourage Cub Master, if you get that call from a commissioner who says, hey, let me stop by a meeting, don't feel intimidated. Let them come by and say hi. No matter what you're thinking they're there for, no matter how much you think you've got things under control, it doesn't hurt to have somebody come in, watch, kind of a third person perspective, give you some valuable advice. Quick shout out to Gabby from BSA Troop 626, boys and girls, and Cub Scout Pack 626 in Collin, DeVille, Louisiana. Thank you for watching, Gabby. We've got, I know you've got a few other points to get to, Mike, but I want to real quick address a question that we're getting from a few different folks in the comments. Donna, Jeremy, and Stefan all have similar concerns in that maybe they're not getting the support they would like from their commissioner. Any thoughts on that, Mike, and what options they have?
You couldn't have asked that question at a better time, Aaron, because the next point I want to make is that in my experience, the question I would ask is, does your Cub Pack have a unit commissioner? And the reason I say that, because there is a shortage of unit commissioners. And my perception, and I hope I'm wrong, but my perception is that there are many packs that don't have a commissioner, or PACs like I was as a new Cub Master, leave me alone and just let me run my PAC meetings. So what I would say to those PACs that do not have a commissioner, or the PACs that have a commissioner and they don't believe they're getting as much out of that commissioner as they can, is this: be proactive. First of all, tell your district commissioner, tell your district, we want a unit commissioner. Ask that district leadership to assign someone to us who might be available. It's probably going to be an older scout, and as I've said, those are the folks that have the experience, who've had children in the program. So go out and recruit your commissioner. Go out and say, I want one. And when you've got names, invite that potential commissioner to a committee meeting. Bring them into the PAC meetings. Adopt your commissioner. Make that person feel as if they are important and that they are providing a useful service. Bring them to the PAC family. Events, make sure they come to the Blue and Gold banquet. Now, let's assume that you've tried that and you don't have a commissioner. My suggestion is grow your own. When you look at who you have in your PAC membership, you've got folks that are going to work on the Blue and Gold banquet. You've got volunteers who are going to work on the Rocket Derby or Pinewood Derby. Identify someone and say, what we want you to do is be our unit commissioner. We want you to sign up as a unit commissioner with the council, with the district. The training is not overwhelming. And we want you to come to our meetings as our unit commissioner. Yes, you may be a parent, a grandparent, but we want you to come in your capacity as a unit commissioner. And in my feeling, every commissioner, be it at the district level, be it at the council level, be it at the territory level, be it at the national level, every commissioner should also be a unit commissioner for a Cub Scout. Let me say that again. Every commissioner, regardless of what their other activities and their other responsibilities are, ought to be a Cub Scout commissioner for at least one Cub Pack. The facts of life are that over 90% of our Scouts BSA have had a Cub Scout experience. That means that we're going to come out of this bankruptcy, we're going to get back to the membership we need, but we've got to start with the Cub Scouts, because 90% plus of those Boy Scouts, of those Scouts BSA, have been Cub Scouts. And so I'm saying to all of those commissioners that may be watching out there, regardless of what other jobs you have, find out what Cub Scouts in your district, what Cub Scout packs don't have commissioners, and sign up. I want to give that admonition.
Yeah, and as Rob pointed out in the comments, there are different types of commissioners. Mike just said it. There's unit commissioners, there's roundtable commissioners, administrative commissioners that maybe cover districts. So if you feel like your unit level commissioner is not responsive enough or not meeting your needs, you can go kind of up the ladder, so to speak, to your district commissioner. And you like Mike said, you have the right to say, you're perfectly within reason. Say, hey, we need a unit commissioner to help us out, and they will help you find one. The Sagittos district is watching, and they commented and said, again, reach out to your district commissioner if your unit commissioner is not meeting your needs or is not responsive. I do think there's probably a lot of Cub Masters, Mike, like you said, they don't even know they have a commissioner, which shows you, how active that commissioner is or has been. Rob, again, a local commissioner here, says they are always short-staffed, always looking for new ones all the time. They usually get their commissioners from former unit leaders and committee chairs. George notes that it's best to start with a simple suggestion that will build confidence in the commissioner's advice rather than overwhelming them with too many suggestions at once. He asks how to prioritize. George, maybe clarify your question there. You're talking about how to prioritize the question that you have for the commissioner, maybe. Let us know if I make sure I might not be understanding your comment correctly, but I want to make sure we answer your question, George. But getting back to what Mike said, I like the idea of growing your own commissioner. There very well could be somebody in your pack who has the knowledge and the experience to help you guys out. So doesn't hurt to ask questions. And again, inviting a commissioner to a PAC committee meeting, pretty good alternative. If you don't, if you know your PAC meeting, maybe you're a little, you feel a little bit overwhelmed because you're kind of, you're running the show for the PAC meeting. For a committee meeting, all adults. You don't have to be in the role of the funny, happy, like Cub Chat Mike always is, Cub Master at a committee meeting. It's a little more of adults only, businessy type meeting. That might be a good place, a good opportunity to invite a district commissioner, a unit commissioner to attend.
So what I'm saying, Aaron, is that each Cub Pack needs to be proactive. The unit commissioner is a great source of information, maybe your best source. The unit commissioner can help the pack organize and manage itself and program and the like. The unit commissioner can assist the den in assessing how well it's doing and what it can do better. So to all of those Cub Scout packs out there that don't have commissioners, I'm saying you want one. They're valuable, but be proactive. If you have a unit commissioner and they don't seem to be providing what you think they should, meet with them. Adopt your commissioner. Make sure they feel part of the fabric of the pack, and make sure that if you just can't get a commissioner any other way, grow your own. You need one, and you can, and it will be very beneficial for you.
Excellent. Lizette, who it sounds like is a unit commissioner, as I theorized, she said when she goes to unit meetings, she brings stickers or lollipops or playing cards for the Cub Scouts. Emily says back when she was a novice commissioner, it sounds like Emily maybe is a little more of an experienced commissioner now. When she was a novice unit commissioner, her district commissioner was very helpful to her, and not just the other units. She said she appreciated the mentorship of the district commissioner to the unit commissioner. Mike, we got just a few more minutes, and we have a question from Brian. Brian wants to know, do unit commissioners have multiple packs, troops, and crews? And if so, your thoughts on that? Are they responsible for multiple groups, or does each unit have its own single, or I should say, does each commissioner responsible for one unit?
It really depends, Aaron. If you wanted to be a commissioner only for one unit, you can do that. Many commissioners have multiple units, but the most important thing is the commissioner has to have can't have so many packs that they don't give each pack the service they deserve and they need. And that's why I suggested to all of those commissioners out there who may be watching this event that they need to be a Cub Scout unit commissioner in addition to whatever else they are doing. Cub Scout commissioners, Cub Scout packs blossom into Boy Scouts. That was my point.
Yes, very good. And I've got a clarifying comment from George, who actually, now that I understand, George, that's my mistake. I misunderstood your first comment. Now that he has explained it to me. So George, it sounds like, is about to be a new unit commissioner. First of all, thank you, George. We appreciate that. His question for you, Mike, is as unit commissioner, what's the best way for him to give advice to a Cub Scout leader? He's concerned about maybe overwhelming them, with too much right at the very beginning. What's your advice for a commissioner? Do they wait until the unit comes to them with questions? Do they come in with a pre-prepared presentation? Do they hit them all at once? Do they start with the simple stuff? Your thoughts on that, Mike?
Well, there's no right or wrong answer, Aaron, necessarily right or wrong answer. My suggestion is the first thing you want to do is to develop a personal relationship with the pack. That means a personal relationship with the Cub Scout master, getting to know the committee members, develop a personal relationship. And then, of course, you have to be very careful if you're gonna criticize. But if you become a friend, if it's obvious that you care about the individuals and you care about the unit, then just take it slow and pass things along as appropriate. That would be my suggestion.
I think that's a great advice. When you develop a relationship like that, when you, like you said, you become part of the pack friendship, the pack family. If you make any suggestions, it comes across a lot different than a stranger showing up and just having all these things, maybe a list of things that you need to be doing differently. Great point, Mike. Alan comments and says, They appreciate all of our scouting leaders, volunteers, unit commissioners. Alan, we agree very much. We appreciate you all. My final thoughts, if anybody wants to know, Aaron's final thoughts on commissioners. If you're a Cub master or a Cub leader, keep an open mind to a commissioner. Like Mike said, you need them. You might not realize you need them, but you need them. This video will live on this website, and you can share it with friends. If you have a friend who's a Cub master who maybe isn't familiar with the resources that are available to them, as in my commissioners, you can tag them in the comments, forward this video to them. You can view past Cub Chat Live episodes at this link below. Mike, we have just a little more time left. Any more final thoughts on the role of unit commissioners and how they can help units?
Well, the final thought I have, Aaron, is that as I have said in the past, one of these days we're going to be able to have annual meetings in person. And I want anyone who's watching this episode today, I would love to say hello and meet at the annual meeting. I will be wearing my Cub Chat Mike Cub Scout neckerchief whenever we're going to get together in a large group. Seek me out. And as I always say, Aaron, at the end of my presentations, when you're Cub Scouts, you want to be positive. And positive is spelled P-A-W. Cub Scout Paul, positive. Cub Scout Mike. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you, Mike, for joining us. And special thanks real quick to the commissioners who are watching right now, Rob, George, Lizette. We appreciate you guys very much. Mike, appreciate you. We'll be back next Friday with another episode of Cub Chat Live. Everybody enjoy your weekend. We'll see you later. Bye, everybody.